Hi, welcome to Emily's studio, Monday, May 10th. This is just a time for me to be able to share with you what I'm working on. And also throughout the month of May, we are announcing winners for the Collage Quilter Academy Facebook group quilt along. So this is for anybody who posts a picture of their progress or their work on either the orchid or the pansies pattern will be entered into a drawing. So Amelia is going to be selecting a name from our Facebook group in just a minute. And so I don't want to take too long on this video because I have a lot of work I want to do. But if you do hop on, I have a question for each of you. I am working my way through the alphabet. So this alphabet critter collage quilt that I'm doing, I'm stumped on a couple letters, and I would love to get your feedback. Oh, excuse me, I'm tired. I partied hard on Mother's Day. So let me tell you the letters that I'm a little stumped on, and I want your feedback. I kind of want your feedback about K. So I'm considering a katydid or a koala or a kiwi. So give me your vote there. I think for E, I'm going to probably have to go with eagle, unless you can think of an insect or a fish that starts with an E, but not an eel because they're ugly. And then for A, I'm debating about ants or an aardvark, maybe an anteater, but an aardvark, they seem really kind of cute. So I'm interested in that. Also for H, I want to know if your vote would be for a hedgehog or a hare or anything else for an H that you have in mind. And let's see, I'd also like to know, I want your input about the R, if I should do a raccoon or a rabbit. I'm leaning towards rabbit right now, especially if I do a hare for H. And then let's see, I also need help with the W. So these are the things I'm thinking for a W: a weasel, a woodpecker, or a wallaby. I'm going to put wasp in for yellow jacket for Y. And then for Z, I'm going to do a zebra butterfly. So anyway, some of those, I kind of need your input. I would like your suggestions and your help with that. And it looks like you're giving me some your votes, so that's awesome. Thank you. And then M, I'm leaning towards mouse. I've considered mole, mouse, monarch, or moth, and I'm leaning towards a mouse because I think a cute little mouse would be fun and easy to do. So anyway, those are the things I'm kind of working on. The rest of them, one other thing is, do I want to do for N, a newt or a nautilus? Okay, so those are my questions for you. You'll see I did not get a whole lot done this week on my critters because I was teaching a lot of things. So I did finish my snail. You can see the snail back there, and he's okay. Let me show you the close-up of him. So I'm kind of happy with him. There's the snail, and yeah, he's good. I also, I taught the orchid class on Saturday. So this is, oh, excuse me again. I'm so sorry. I'm tired. For the orchid class on Saturday, I did that completed design in the class, so live. So I hope that was helpful for people. The main takeaway that I want to point out is to be really bold with your fabric. I think we tend to want to be, especially if we haven't done this before, we tend to want to be really safe with our fabric selection. And we think, oh, green leaves, let's do green. But the thing, I think the most important takeaway, at least what I'm learning and the feedback I'm getting from people, is that it's scary to be bold with fabric and fabric selection. And so we want to be really narrow-minded in the fabric that we select. And yet I believe that when we're a little more creative and bold and adventurous with our fabric selection, that the outcome is a much more interesting collage. And so the orchid is a really good example. So there was one student in the class who said, I'm really struggling with this idea of my greens. We were working on the greens, and you could apply it to anything. You could apply it to the pink, you could apply it to the greens or the blue. And she said, I'm really struggling with this. This is really hard for me because it's so out of the box. I had challenged her to just pull in all these different greens and maybe just pay attention to value exclusively and not worry about the variety of fabric. And so up close, she was looking at what I was working on up close, and up close, it looks like a hot mess. But when you look at it from far away like this, it all works together. It blends really well, and you can see the darker values are expressed really well in the leaves, for instance, or in the pot. Oh, here I go again. Man alive, I need more caffeine in the morning on Monday mornings. I am a sleepyhead. So let me just pull this up close, and I want you to have the perspective. I wanted you to see it far away, and then I'm going to bring it up close. Oh, by the way, H for hummingbird. Yes, I like that idea. Thank you, Diane. I hadn't thought about that. I'm going to add that to the list and see if I can see a good hummingbird. So anyway, so here we are, coming closer, closer, closer. Now, if we look at this really up close, you can see what it's kind of a mess. And the variety of fabric that I've used, and the cuts are really random too. So you see the just very angular cuts that I make. This leaf in particular, like, look at everything that's going on. There's a lot of, all of it, that whole section of green, there are a lot of different values and analogous colors. So in that, we see not only green, but we see purple and teal and blue, a little bit of pink, yellow. So all of that in this little teeny section was a little overwhelming for her to consider using, but that's the thing about a collage quilt that I love. I love the look. It makes it look so intricate and interesting, and it gives it a lot of depth and dimension. So anyway, I think that was kind of the takeaway from the orchid class. And you can see on the flowers too, there's a lot going on, and really what this becomes is just a suggestion of a flower and a suggestion of leaves and a suggestion of a pot. So anyway, that's that. I think we still have some space in the pansies class. I think that's filling up. And for those of you so anyway, I think it's filling up. There are a few more spaces if you're interested in joining me. Is the sign up on our website?
Yeah, it's under if you go look at the pattern.
Right. So there's a link on the pansies pattern if you're interested in joining up for that.
That's my wedding ring.
Yes. Oh, yes. This is my daughter's wedding ring. She left it here last night. So there you go.
Take that.
I put it there so you would notice it. Okay. So For those of you who participated in the orchid class, if you haven't already received, you should have received an email with the link. If you haven't, I'm going to go in and resend that right now after this little live video. So that is kind of what's happening with me. And then we are going to choose a winner. Have you selected a winner right now, Amelia?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have it?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
Lynn Watson Green for the orchid.
Lynn Watson Green is the first winner. And what are we going to gift to
How
Lynn?
about we give her our newest fabric bundle in blue?
Lynn, you are going to be the recipient of our newest fabric bundle in blue. Amelia, do you want to pull those over here and show her?
I don't know where it is. I've cut an entire bundle.
I know, it's a disaster in here. She's going to pull that together real quick and we're going to show that. And I promised last week that we would get that up for sale last week, but Amelia had finals for college and then she left town and left me to fulfill all the orders and get everything done. And so we didn't get the blue up for sale last week, but we're going to do it today. We're going to do it today.
We're going to cut it and get it all.
Blue fabric bundle will be for sale today. And we're going to put my other daughter to work who just finished her her semester in college. So she is going to get right to work cutting fabric.
This is the prettiest bundle.
This is a beautiful bundle. So Lynn, well done. And I think Lynn joined me in class too. So it's really hard to show everything, but I want you to see it because it's so pretty. Look at all of this pretty fabric. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love this blue bundle. I'm super excited about this. And you'll see I've used some of it in the orchid pot.
So send us an email with your address.
Lynn, send me an email if you're watching. If you're not watching, don't worry. I'll track you down.
She's watching right here.
Okay. Lynn, send me an email to emily@collagequilter.com and we will get your address and get this delicious bundle in the mail to you. Okay, so let's just now take any questions that you have. And if you have any questions, just type them in the comment group. And I'm going to run through questions real quick. And Nightingale, Diane, you are on fire. I like this. So anyway, we're going to look at the questions, look at the suggestions for the critters. And I apologize that I wasn't able to get more done then. I guess I was slow as a snail last week, but at least I got that done. Har, har, har. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's take a look-see and see what we've got going on. First of all, I should always say, I welcome all of you. I love to see you. And I would love to sit and have a conversation with each one of you. But anyway, thank you for joining me. It's always really fun. Can I make an eel pretty, Gail? I don't know if I can. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I can find a good picture of an eel. I love the idea of a raccoon. Armadillo. Armadillo. That's a good one. Dawn suggested a whale for the W. The only problem with, I'm trying to keep it to small critters that I can scale up. A whale, I would have to scale down. So that's kind of the dilemma that I'm going through. I want to make sure that I can scale everything up. So I don't know if a whale is going to work because I don't want to scale it down. But a woodpecker is a great idea. Okay, let's keep going. A mouse, mosquito. I don't think I'm going to do a mosquito. I hate mosquitoes. Hedgehog, love it. Monarch, butterfly, good one. And newt. Yes, I'm leaning towards a newt. I got to find a good image of a newt. Let's see here. Great suggestions, you all.
Here's a question.
Okay, do you have the question, Amelia?
Yeah, suggestions for cutting shapes. I am doing better with color than I am with the shapes.
Okay, so she had a question about the shapes, cutting shapes. So, you know, you just kind of have to let go of the shape that you are cutting. And the only way I can help you kind of understand the shapes to cut, so are to take a look at my collages up close. And I just showed you the orchid. Where did I put that? So I just showed you the orchid. I'll show you this again, and I'm going to show you an up close of a few other collages, including the snail. So I'm not super concerned with the shape of things. You can see there are, the shape that I most commonly cut is a triangle that has a rounded edge, and that rounded edge is what helps me to fit within the rounded section of a design. So you can see all of these have rounded edges, but then they're pretty angular, and I don't worry very much past that. And that just has become a little bit of my kind of signature, that that I have an angular signature. In fact, it's kind of interesting that when I go into a class and I teach, everybody kind of tends to cut the same shape over and over, their own shape over and over, and that becomes their fingerprint. So allow yourself to just have a fingerprint, and that becomes the shape that you cut. The only fingerprint that I would say to avoid entirely is an entirely round bubble. I don't like the look of a round bubble. I don't like the look of a collage just being bubbles.
Or squares.
I like squares.
I don't.
Yeah, she said she doesn't like squares, but I think squares are kind of, I think that looks pretty. For whatever reason, and this is just entirely my my own aesthetic, I don't like the look of bubbles. It looks amateur to me. But you can do your own thing. I mean, I'm not the boss of the shape that you make. Just have fun with your fabric. Now, here's a close-up of the snail again, so that you can kind of, will you turn that off so we don't hear it? So here is another really good close-up to see kind of the shapes that I make, kind of random, except in places like this where I'm creating a shadow. And I don't love that shape because it looks like I'm trying to outline it too much. It looks too contrived. But anyway, there's kind of, those shapes are just kind of random. So I don't know if that helps you with your shapes. Robin just asked, is there a way I can follow your class? So if you register for one of my classes, my webinars, I will always send you the replay so that you can watch it within 30 days of the live event. So don't worry about that. If you pay for it, you will have access to the replay. Amelia, can you see any other questions that we need to get to? And I will look too. So if you have questions, go ahead and type them in here.
How much fabric gets overlapped in a collage? Like, how much overlap is there?
Okay, so the question is about overlap. Everything needs to be overlapped. We're never butting fabric up next to each other. And the amount of overlap when I'm doing a collage is anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch. So on, again, something like this, and the way that you can see it is if I were to shine a light through, maybe you can see it a little bit here. No, you can't really see it. Maybe if I peel it off and hold it up to the light. Anyway, that's the amount of overlap. So again, let me just repeat that. The amount of overlap that you're going to do in a collage quilt when you're using kind of my method and the way I teach it is anywhere from 1/8 of an inch to 1/2 inch. And I generally try not to do more than, I don't overlap more than 3 pieces at the very max. The majority is just 2 pieces overlapped. And the only time that you'll see an overlap of 3 pieces is, for example, when we've got this piece is overlapped by this piece, and then both of them are overlapped just a smidgen by the adjoining pieces. So there are some areas where there's 3 layers of fabric, but the majority is 2 layers of fabric, and that's the minimum, 2 layers of fabric. And then the idea, of course, when we're doing a parchment pressing pattern is that this whole thing will come off. I'll peel this whole thing off and apply it to a different piece of fabric. So there are a few layers of fabric, but the collage itself, the majority is, or the minimum is 2 pieces of fabric. So I hope that answers your question.
Name of paper used.
Name of paper?
Like, I think she's wondering what that paper is.
Oh, okay. So the paper that I'm using for this is parchment paper. And I don't recommend using, I've only used parchment paper using this technique, and the double-sided fusible web that works with this parchment paper parchment pressing technique is light Steam-A-Seam 2. So we have the light Steam-A-Seam 2 available for sale on our website, collagequilter.com, and the parchment paper you can get on Amazon. I think I will try and bring that in so that we can put that for sale on the website. In fact, one of the things I just want you to know that Amelia and I are working on a complete beginner kit. And in this kit, there will be all the fabric that you need for a particular pattern that will also be in there, as well as all the basic supplies. So look for that coming up soon. We're working on that and working on the pattern that will be part of that beginner kit. So anyway, I would love to take any other questions. Amelia, I want you to look for questions. And I will, at the same time, I would really like to I love to see where you all are from, because I'm seeing some people so I live in Utah, which is in the Mountain West area of the United States. The states that border me are Nevada and Wyoming, Colorado, and Arizona. So that's kind of the area where Utah is found. And I love to see that we have international visitors as well as stateside visitors. So let's just take a look and see where everybody is from. Indianapolis, great to have you. We've got, now if you hate this part, just log off. I don't want the critique that I shouldn't spend time doing this, because this is fun for me to see where everybody is from. And that's part of the reason I do it. So, let's see. We also have, I just saw somebody from far away. I wanted to welcome them. Pensacola, Florida. So Euphoria, welcome. With Butte, Marie from Butte, Montana. Fantastic. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. The Netherlands, Sandra. Thank you for being here from the Netherlands. I am going to be making a visit to the Netherlands this fall. I will be going to Amsterdam. Let's see here. Let's see. We've got somebody from India. Welcome. It's great to have you. I know that India is just blowing up with COVID. I hope that you can stay healthy and well. I'm sorry that your country is struggling so much. Let's see here. Let's see. Awita is a New Zealand insect. I'll look into that. Thank you, Elizabeth. Elephant shrew. That's a great idea. Great to have you, Bonnie, from Alberta, Canada. And yeah, Bert. Let's see, Alberta. Let's see who else we've got from around the world. That's always fun to see.
Cyprus.
Cyprus? Are you kidding?
Mm-mm.
Is that over by
It's in Europe.
It's in Europe, but is it by Greece?
I think so. Oh, it was that little island that
It's an island, yeah.
It's closer to Israel, I think. It's off.
I wonder, I don't know if Cyprus is if it's its own country or if it's part of Greece. So I'm going to look into that so that I'm not ignorant. Thank you so much for joining me. Diane from Pennsylvania. We've got Washington State, Toronto, Texas, British Columbia, Snohomish, Washington. I probably totally slaughtered that, but that's pretty cool. North Carolina, South Carolina, South Africa. I love it. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Durban, South Africa, and Johannesburg. Kuwait. Holy cow. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Petaluma, California, Alaska, Ridgecrest, California. So Dawn, in the Mojave Desert, land of 7.1 earthquakes. Yikes. Dawn, I went to elementary school at Ridgecrest Elementary. Just FYI. Just kind of a fun thing there. Kansas, Mississippi, Illinois, Maine, Concord, North Carolina, Oklahoma. I'm coming to Oklahoma to teach in September. So I hope that you'll be there. Canada, again, Alberta, Idaho. Oh, we are neighbors. Idaho and Utah are neighbors. Houston, Texas, St. Louis, Missouri, Quebec, Canada. Quebec is beautiful. I have not been there for a long time, and I would like to come back. Fun. Thank you so much for letting me know where you all are from. Arkansas, Oregon, beautiful country up there. I just took my family to Oregon when did we go? In October, Amelia?
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Aside from doing what I do art-wise, like my collage quilt-wise, I love to travel. And it is really fun for me to see where everybody's from because I want to make my way around the world and visit all of you. New Zealand born, man, my husband wants to go to New Zealand so bad. And this friend from Norfolk, England said, we call it baking paper. Yes, parchment paper is also known as baking paper. I have been to Norfolk, England. Great to have you. Las Cruces, New Mexico. New Mexico is right down by me too. Sandra asked, will I be giving a workshop in Amsterdam? No, I'm not planning on it unless you want to arrange it. I'll come, and if you pull something together, I'll come and do a quick workshop there. But I will be arriving in Amsterdam in the fall at the beginning of a river cruise. And we'll be cruising down, starting in Amsterdam down into Basel, Switzerland. So let's see. Oh, Sandra does get double points because she's a Brazilian living in the Netherlands. And here's the thing. My husband served an LDS mission in Brazil. He loves Brazil and he speaks Portuguese. So anyway, kind of fun. Prince Edward Island, Colorado Springs. Did I pronounce it correctly? The Snohomish? I hope so. New Orleans. I want to go to New Orleans, Western New York. So anyway, it's fun. I'm sorry, indulge me. That's the fun part, to see where everybody is from. So thank you for indulging me. Okay, we are coming up on a half hour. I don't like this to go much longer than that, but
here's a good question.
We have one final question, and then I'll be signing off until next Monday at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. And I want you guys to just always remember that if you have a suggestion or a question, if there's something you're working on and you would like my help, find me so email me, Emily at collagequilter.com with your questions or suggestions. And that would be, and so I can incorporate that into this live video. I'm happy to do short little demonstrations in this live video on Mondays, 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Or you can always find me too in the Collage Quilter Academy Facebook group. And that's a great place to post photos and to ask questions, or in the Collage Quilter Facebook group. So Collage Quilter Academy and the Collage Quilter Facebook group are good places to post pictures so that you can get my feedback. Also, let me remind you that if you're doing the orchid or the pansies quilt along, when you post your pictures of your progress in the Collage Quilter Academy Facebook group, you can be selected to win a prize. So again, congratulations to, it was Lynn, right?
Yeah.
Lynn for winning the blue bundle this week, and next week we'll pull another winner out, okay? So go, last question here.
Okay, this question is also from Lynn. She said, do you work on your easel or flat on your table? I thought on Saturday you were working flat.
Okay, great question. So Lynn asked, do you work on your easel or do you work on a flat surface? When I'm doing a workshop, I have found that it's really helpful to work on a flat surface because I got another camera. So I can change the camera angle and you can see an up close. That just seems to work really well. The other thing is, Lynn, for some of these smaller things, like the snail, it was really fun and easy for me to work on this, I guess, kind of my portable workspace, which is the same, it's the same material as what I've got back there. This just allows me to move it around a little bit if I want to. And this is really helpful when I'm doing a workshop for people to see up close. So this surface that I've created for both this and that's sitting on my drafting table is a 1/4 inch piece of foam core covered in felt. And then it's lightweight, and the felt protects the foam core from an iron. And then the foam core also allows me to put pins in it so that I can pin my template down. I can pin my parchment paper down. So that's really helpful. Okay, so any other quick questions that you see?
Nope.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining me. It was really fun to be here, and I will check you out on Facebook in the next week. Take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and be good to people around you. Let's spread sunshine, okay?